Earlier today, I'm sure you've heard by now, the judge overseeing the Georgia election interference case against former President Donald Trump ruled that the Fulton County District Attorney, Fani Willis, will be allowed to continue with the prosecution, but only if the lead prosecutor that she appointed, Nathan Wade, withdraws himself from the case in light of the affair that the two were engaged in. Well, I'm sure you've heard by now that shortly after that ruling, Wade did, in fact, resign. But now we have to ask, did the judge make the right decision? I mean, after all, both of them were engaged in the affair, but only one had to step down. And what can we expect moving forward? Well, joining me now to discuss this is Ken Blackwell. He is the FRC Action Special Advisor for Election Integrity. Ken, welcome back to Washington Watch. Always an honor to have you.
Jody, good to be with you, sir.
Well, listen, I know you've been following this all along. Walk us through what was discovered in the investigation of the relationship between Willis and Nathan Wade.
Well, that was an improper relationship, and I think it soiled the whole proceedings. The trial judge took the wimp way out by giving the option of scapegoating Wade and leaving Willis on the case, and so let's start there. As you open, they both should have been taken off of this case. Her performance at that church actually made clear that this was a political prosecution on her part. And so for her to continue to be in the case, on the case, actually violates any common sense understanding of due process. So I hope the Trump lawyers will take this up on appeal. Now, all of the lawyers that I've worked with over the 40 years called me a Jake Leg lawyer. But, I've hired some pretty good lawyers and I've fired some pretty bad lawyers. And I actually understand the Constitution. And I really strongly believe that his lawyers, Trump's lawyers, can take this up on appeal prior to a court procedure on the case. I just don't know how this stands. It's clearly a political prosecution, and we can't allow Willis to turn Georgia jurisprudence into kangaroo courts.
Yeah, I mean, that is a part of the concerning part to me, Ken. I look at this and it appears as though the judge was throwing a bone to both sides, trying to split the difference somehow. I mean, look, it's kind of like if you come home and there's a couple of people who have broken into your home, and here the police come and they arrest two people in your home, but they let one of them go and they take the other one off to jail or whatever. It's like, what happened to the one that you let go? Why did you do that? They're both here. And the judge here, he used some strong language. There was a tremendous lack of judgment. I mean, all these types of things, unprofessional, and yet one gets to walk and the other stays in it. Do you have an opinion, or is it, as you said, just strictly political? Is there any judicial reason why only one would be disqualified here?
Well, I don't think so, except, again, this judge is up for election this time around. He was appointed. Now he stands for election. And so I think there might have been some political calculation in the way he decided in this case. But I think he's smart enough to understand that Willis has cooked her own goose, and that this can, if Trump's lawyers take this up on appeal before while we're in the pretrial proceedings, they might be able to jumpstart or fast forward to a Georgia Supreme Court decision to disqualify her or to throw the case out. There's just too much tangible evidence that this was a political prosecution on her part. and that
That's a good.
she has not only exhibited bad judgment, I think that she has violated the law.
Yeah, that's a really good point. That she's in hot water either way this goes. Judge McAfee struck down 6 of the counts against former President Trump, but now Wade has resigned, and Willis is in trouble for potentially perjuring herself and committing potential crimes, as you said. We've only got about 30 seconds here, but what do you think, real quickly, what happens from here?
Well, I think that we need to get the vote out and make this election too big to rig.
Well, that would do it. It's always the importance of getting out the vote. I tell you, Ken Blackwell, you are such a champion, a warrior, and deep gratitude to you from literally millions of Americans for all you do. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us.